There are bacteria living in your belly button right now. Not a few. Not a couple of strays. We're talking thousands of them in a tiny ecosystem you carry around every single day and never think about. And some of the bacteria found in human belly buttons had never been seen by science before. So let's talk about the strangest little jungle on your entire body. First, why is your belly button such a perfect home for tiny creatures? Think about what it actually is. It's a small, warm, slightly hidden pocket in the middle of your stomach. It doesn't get much sunlight. It doesn't get scrubbed very hard in the shower. Be honest. And it's usually a little moist and warm. To you, that's just a belly button. To a bacterium, that's a 5-star beachfront resort. So they move in, and they throw a party. Now here's where it gets wild. In 2011, scientists at North Carolina State University started a research project with the greatest name in the history of science. They called it the Belly Button Biodiversity Project. That is a real thing that real scientists did with real funding. Their job was simple, but kind of gross. They went around asking strangers if they could swab the inside of their belly buttons. Imagine that being your day at work. And then they looked at what was growing in there. What they found was honestly shocking. Across all the belly buttons they studied, they discovered over 2,000 different kinds of bacteria. 2,000. One single person's belly button had 67 different species living in it. 67. In one tiny hole. That's not a body part anymore. That's a zoo. But here's the part that sounds like science fiction. Some of the bacteria they pulled out of people's belly buttons had never been documented before. Brand new to science. Think about that for a second. For centuries, explorers climbed mountains and sailed across oceans to discover new forms of life. These scientists just walked up to someone and said, "Hey, what's in your belly button?" And found something the world had never seen. Now, before you run to scrub yours with bleach, please don't. Almost all of this bacteria is completely normal and harmless. In fact, most of it is good for you. Your skin is covered in bacteria from head to toe. It always has been. These tiny organisms help protect your skin and keep the bad germs from taking over. Your belly button just happens to be one of their favorite neighborhoods. So it's not dirty in a scary way. It's just busy. Here's another strange thing the scientists noticed. Everyone's belly button community was different, like a fingerprint, but made of germs. A few common types of bacteria showed up in almost everyone. But beyond that, the mix was wildly different from person to person. Your belly button has its own unique little population that's basically yours and yours alone, which is either really cool or really gross, depending on how your day is going. So why does this happen here and not, say, on your forehead? It comes down to that warm, sheltered shape we talked about. Most of your skin is dry and exposed and gets wiped constantly. The belly button is tucked away and left alone. It's calm in there, stable, cozy, and bacteria love stability. It's the difference between living in a windy parking lot and living in a quiet little cottage. They pick the cottage every time. Now let's connect this to the fluff. You know the little gray fuzzball that magically appears in there? That's part of the ecosystem too. Tiny hairs on your stomach scrape fibers off your clothing. Those fibers get funneled inward and collect in the belly button. Mix that lint with dead skin, a little oil, and your bacteria colony, and congratulations! You've built a tiny self-cleaning compost bin. Romantic, I know. But here's the bigger idea. And it's actually kind of beautiful. You are not just one single organism walking around. You are a walking habitat. Your body is home to trillions of bacteria. In your gut, on your skin, in your mouth, and yes, in your belly button. There are more bacterial cells living on and in you than you might even guess. You're less of a person and more of an entire planet that those microbes live on. And your belly button is one of its richest little regions. So the next time you notice it, don't be weirded out. That tiny scar is hosting a thriving community of life, most of which is quietly helping you. It's been there since the day you were born. It asks for nothing. It just sits there, holding its own private zoo of microscopic life. Scientists discovered brand new species in there. Your belly button is genuinely a tiny frontier of biology, so maybe give it a little respect. And maybe, just maybe, wash it a little better tonight. If you enjoyed this, the research is all linked down below. And yes, go ahead and check your belly button. Science says it's fascinating in there.